You know, you got a lot of people, a lot of different perspectives, especially now with the pioneers. We have so many different people, different approaches. You know, the first approach you might think of with nunchucks is that they are a weapon, you know, and that's kind of the way I thought of them. You know, that's your obvious thing. I mean, some people would think of them as a farming tool if you've lived in places where they do that. Uh, the other thing that would come to mind to the experienced user is that it's a tool for meditation. It's a tool for self-improvement and pushing yourself a little bit further all the time, but developing a kind of an average thing that you can kind of refer to. It's hard to put a name on it, but it's like a way to monitor your personal growth, you know. As long as you get to practice on a regular basis, you get to do it at your own time, you know, pretty much. More so than, say, if you belong to an organization where you had to show up at a specific time and everything. So this applies to people who have a lot of discipline and they want to do it. You know, if you are a person who wants to swing nunchucks in your own time, I know there's a lot of people who have kind of groups in different countries and they all get together and it looks like great fun. You know, over there in Indonesia. So I watch the Indonesian Nunchaku Club group all the time because it's really inspiring to see that. From my country, it's a lot like it was maybe as if you read about in ancient China, where everybody had to be really quiet about it and don't tell anyone because you're not allowed to do this kind of thing, you know. So now, not only are you allowed to do this kind of thing, you are inspired to do this kind of thing. So with the growth of this thing is, you know, not out of control, but it's big. And so I'm sharing what I've learned over my lifetime, and so that it won't be lost, and so that people will be able to start out on a higher level than they would if they didn't have someone experienced to tell them how to proceed without killing yourself with nunchucks, because I have to say it can be fairly dangerous swinging nunchucks if you haven't determined that yet, if you haven't found that out. I know a lot of people will just put a lot of foam on their nunchucks, and that probably works. I haven't done that. I've just stuck with oak. If I click them real hard, the camera will cut that sound out, but these are oak and they are fairly light, but they're enough to do some pretty severe damage to your face if you're not careful. So I do a lot of safety talking and I do a lot of safety thinking, and that's how I stay safe, you know. So I also just have been practicing for a long time, and you know, if you do practice for a long time, you're either going to get safe with this, or you're going to hurt yourself. So you have to get safe. You really, you know, and I myself injured myself a lot before I really slowed down enough to stop getting injured. And plus I adapted the moves that keep me from getting injured so much. I can still get injured, you know, and I can still just have repetitive use injuries from overworking my back, you know. So you have to have a therapy that accompanies your art, you know. If you're just now looking into this, or even if you're intermediate in developing your skill, definitely you need to have a therapeutic approach to your art form. It's just like when you practice karate, taekwondo, or judo, you go in, you sit down, and you stretch. You stretch your whole body. And you can say, well, oh, I'm just using my arms, my hands. No, you're using your whole body. Stretch your whole body. Your whole body can hurt when you practice too much. When you're really young, you may not notice it, but as you get older, you will. So definitely have therapeutic approach to your practice, either before or after. So thanks for joining me. I do have to get going. I can't take all day here. And I really want to thank you for joining me. And we have a group, Nunchaku Pioneers, if you haven't heard about them. Subscribe if you haven't. Have a great day. See you soon. Bye.